What makes my hair blonde? What makes someone colorblind? What causes Down syndrome? While these might seem like three distinct questions, they can all be answered with one simple word: genetics. My research is aimed at understanding the genes that are responsible for formation of your retina. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care about the retina? Or maybe, what is the retina? Well, it's more than just the name for the display in your iPhone. Your retina is a small piece of tissue that sits in the back of your eye. It's part of your central nervous system and is directly connected to your brain. But most importantly, your retina is what's necessary for both you and I to see. When you're viewing your world, you need to extract features from a scene. For example, color, or motion, or contrast. So when photons of light enter your eye, they're converted into electrical signals that then get passed from cell to cell on their way to their final destination, the brain. One of these critical relay cells is called the bipolar cell, shown here in blue. And the number of bipolar cells you have is really important, because this number ultimately plays a role in how much information can get passed on to end up in your brain for further processing. So here's where I come in. I'm trying to understand what are the genes that are responsible for how many bipolar cells you have in your retina. I've addressed this question by injecting genes into the eyes of newborn mice, right at the time period when lots of cells are being born, including the bipolar cells. We can visualize these cells because I've manipulated them so that they fluoresce or glow green. We can then remove the retinas from these animals and simply count the number of green cells and see how this would compare to an animal that didn't get any extra amounts of gene when it was developing. So I've done this for one particular gene, which let's just call gene X, and I found that there was a significant decrease in the number of bipolar cells that were born. You can see that in these real microscopic images in which there are fewer green bipolar cells when the animals were exposed to this extra gene when they were developing. So, taken another way, I've discovered that gene X is critical to how many bipolar cells are born. So, why is this important? Well, it's important because it tells us about how our retina and our central nervous system as a whole develop. This information tells us about how cell number plays a role in how we see. This information can be used to provide therapeutics to the 285 million people who suffer from visual impairments every day. So the next time you're out taking a walk and you're able to stop and take a look at something beautiful, I encourage you to take a moment and thank your genes. Thank you.